that Ms. Mott Staria is responsible for those damages. So you may begin. Are you going to be testifying? Are you going to be calling any witnesses, or it's just going to be your own testimony with documentation that I see you possibly have? Do you have copies for Ms. Mott Staria?
Yes, I do.
Okay, excellent. Do you have copies for the court?
Sure do.
Excellent. Okay, you may begin. Who is going to speak first? Ms. Haskins.
We're here because of damages to our property. Frequently go to the property even after asked not to go there. She was served with a writ of assist. And so we would like money for the damages of the property because we can't take this anymore. And how is it that a writ of assist, how does that not keep her off our property?
Well, that's not a restraining order.
Okay, well, that's what'll be next then.
Okay, so, but because she's not living at the property anymore, correct? She's not there?
Correct.
Okay, and so do you want to be Mott, Staria?
Mott's fine.
Ms. Mott. Do you agree with any amount of damages?
Your Honor, honestly, 4 years I had lived there. They were not signed over the house up until sometime last year. And there were no damages after the house was signed to them.
And so honestly, if I don't know how it was assigned, and I'll get into that, but let's just say that it was all done properly and legal, like they received it they either purchased it or they got it from an inheritance or something of that nature. All of that passes to the new owners, okay?
Yep.
So 4 years, and so you say there were some damages, but do you stipulate or agree to any amount of damages?
And nothing that they have stated, no.
I know, and I'm asking, do you agree with anything? Do you say, yes, I agree that I damaged a door. The door I agree at least $100. Is there any amount or any damages that you stipulate and agree to?
Because he had locked me out of the house anyways, that's beside the point. But I had offered to replace it. I offered to replace the glass in it, but then it turned out that the window frame was thrown away, I was told. And so then Jordan had just replaced it with one of the interior windows because there's kind of like a 3 seasons porch. And he told me just not to worry about it. And otherwise I found a new window for it and I was willing to replace it.
Who's Jordan?
That's my boyfriend. That's who owned the home. I don't know. He signed a quit claim deed.
Okay.
Last year, and
Jordan is your boyfriend.
Correct.
And Jordan is their son.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I still go to the house is to see him.
Oh, he still lives there?
Oh yeah, he's lived there the entire time.
So this is making it very confusing and very difficult. It's going to be very difficult for you.
Well, maybe we should enlighten you a little bit because she is not even supposed to be there with him. And it's court ordered by that.
Oh, you have a restraining order. Stop.
Sorry.
You have a restraining order that says she's not to go to the property.
No,
this doesn't count.
She pretty much claimed that Jordan beat her up. And so he has a thing that they can't even be together.
That
his parole officer says he
Ms.
can't even be
Haskins,
there.
so you can understand, that doesn't help you or your case. That doesn't mean that she can't go to the property. So that's too bad, so sad. He's the one who's risking the criminal prosecution if that's the case. He is. She's not restrained from going to the property. There is nothing legally binding her from not
filing that then.
But
so what does an ejection mean then, Your Honor?
she was evicted from the property.
Okay.
Okay. So she's no longer able to live at the property and pay rent. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, though, so you can understand the law. If Jordan says, hey, my girlfriend Victoria, come on and move in with me, he can do that. Okay? So he can do that. You as landlords over Jordan need to yourselves with Jordan have a lease that prevents something like that. Right now, I don't have anything that says that even is the case, okay? So right now, I am going to tell you, you can present your case. You have a very difficult case to prove, okay? Because Jordan lives there. So it's not like you evicted everybody out of the property. There's no way for you to prove. I mean, you may prove. I'll listen and I'll hear whether or not Jordan did it, whether or not Victoria did it, how the damage occurred, because somebody is still living in that property. Somebody who has lived in the property the entire time and still remains at that property,
He
okay?
didn't live there the entire time
But he moved in at some point in time, correct?
after she was evicted out.
Did he live there prior to?
Your Honor, he wasn't supposed to be there, but he was there more than he wasn't. The only days he wasn't there was when he had his child. And so he moved his belongings out for the time being. But the second that you had evicted me, he was right back into the house. You know, like he moved all of his belongings back to it, even though he was still staying there with me.
Okay, so I can understand. He didn't live with you.
No, so when him and I started seeing each other, he owned the house. Him and his ex-girlfriend had purchased the house together. He just signed the quitclaim deed after they bailed him out of jail last year because that was the terms. They told him that they would not bail him out unless he signed a quitclaim deed.
No, that was not it.
Okay, so I need to wrap my head around.
I know,
all that.
sorry.
So 4 years ago, so we're talking 2019,
Yes,
Jordan owned the house.
yes.
And
The taxes and everything are still in his name as far as I know, the mortgage, all of it.
No, they're not.
well, again, stop. If the more you bicker,
Oh,
the
sorry.
more I'm going to say dismissed and
Right.
go away.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's not a fighting between you, the both of you. That's not what this is. Okay. And there's an issue with Jordan too. Okay. You're his
Wow.
parents. He's living at the house. Perhaps this is an issue to take care of with Jordan.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Also,
We are.
yes.
We are.
Now, Jordan owned the house and he claimed it to you
Mhm.
in what year?
2022.
2022. And what month?
4.
April?
Yep.
2022. And then with whatever happened, and I don't know, I just recall what happened in the eviction. The eviction was filed November 2022, and she was evicted in December of 2022. Okay. But, so Jordan owned the home in 2019. When did your relationship start?
In 2019 is when we started seeing each other. I don't know the year him and Courtney purchased it. I think he was only there about
I don't care about that. I just want to know.
2 years prior to that. So I'd say 2017 is when he purchased the home. So after about 2 years, that's when I had moved in with him.
In 2019?
Correct.
So he lived in the home in 2019.
Yes.
He owned the home.
Yes.
It was his home.
Yes.
And you moved in with him. Okay. All right. So you moved in with him 2019. And did you have a lease?
No, never.
And when they acquired the property in 2022, April, did you have, I can't recall off the top of my head. Oh, that's right. This was the ejectment because this did not involve a lease.
Yes.
So this was your like, we now own the property. She's the girlfriend. We don't like what's happening there. We want her out of the property. She was ejected from the property
Correct.
because there was not a lease. There was not any
Correct.
rental amount owed. There wasn't a security deposit. There was no decisions or agreements with regards to utilities, anything of that nature. It was simply, you now own the house. You approved Jordan to continue to live at that house, but not Ms. Mott.
Correct.
Because it sounds like there's hostility. And I don't know if it's just, I know that they have their issues and that's being handled in court in other matters, but hostility with you and, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right, now we're up to speed. No lease, and This was simply an ejectment, so there was no agreement between you, the Haskins, and Ms. Mott as to anything relating to the property. Correct?
Correct.
All right. So, Ms. Haskins, so tell me why you think Ms. Mott is responsible for any damages.
Because she has her dogs and still there and they're pooping all over the floors. and
Yes,
she
you
doesn't
understand. I'm going to stop you.
No.
You have no authority, nothing over Ms. Mott, okay?
Okay.
None of that. Jordan lives there. Jordan, you have whatever agreement you have with Jordan. Jordan can have the mafia king over if he wishes. Jordan can have a cocaine party and do all of these things if he wishes as landlords, okay? He can do all of the things. He can invite people that you don't care about, you don't like, you don't get along with, his choice. And if you as landlords choose, you don't like that, you can evict Jordan. But right now, I don't see that. She's a guest, okay? Jordan's guest. Okay, so your issue is with Jordan. All right? So why do you think she is responsible for damages?
Because she's the one that did the damage. Because she's the one that did the damage.
Okay, so
And she was living in the house when Jordan got kicked out, when some of the damages occurred.
okay, so let's talk about from April, because that's all, okay. You can't go back now though, because now I heard all of the history of these things.
Yep.
You can't go back any further than April, whatever date in April of 2022. What damages occurred from that date up until, not until today? Just what damages are you aware of or do you think that she had caused?
A door.
A door?
3 doors.
And so, okay, so I'm just going to have you list out what you think she damaged. And then, yeah, Mr.
Can I speak, please?
You may.
3 doors got pried with a pry bar, broken open. The door jambs are broken right
Here's the
off.
thing, don't care about the damage right
Okay.
now. I just want a list of
3 doors, a
Door.
window.
window.
The complete basement was full of dog poop and urine, which to this day you can smell. At one point, I don't have documentation of this. A young lady admitted that to me
Okay.
and was
So-
sorry for that.
You have a door, you have a window, you have smelly basement. What else?
Carpets got to be replaced, yes.
A vehicle that got damaged.
Your
that's-
vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, let's start with the vehicle and that damage. Tell me where the vehicle was and how that occurred and how you believe that Ms. Mott caused that damage.
Well,
Again, she admitted
We have
it in a
proof.
text.
yeah, we have proof of the text. She said, I'm sorry for being, I won't repeat the words, but what happened to your truck. I should have talked to you and explained what happened instead of,
Well, if you want to use that as,
I will
As
do
exhibit.
whatever I have to fix it or pay for it.
okay, I hear what that's saying. It's not admitting guilt. It's admitting I will help pay for or pay for damages. It's not saying I did it. So what was wrong? What got damaged and how was it damaged?
She ran into the side of the truck with her car.
With a car.
Did you see this happen?
I have pictures of it, footage of it. We have cameras at the house.
Oh, so you have cameras that took that. And so do you have a little disc thing? I
I-
can't take your phone unless you want me to keep it.
Okay, I can get it to you.
From ADT.
This is the day though. This is it. So you don't get to bring the video because this is the day that you bring all this stuff. So because you weren't there and you can't go by, you saw a video, you believe she hit your truck with her car.
Mhm.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. And it damaged doors or door
The
panels?
side, yeah.
And you have an estimate of that damage.
We do not because they were unable to get it in at this time because of all the hail damage. And it's not like a necessity.
It is, because it's a necessity for court. So you have no proof of anything. So there's no dollar amount for anything. Okay? So you have no idea of the cost to fix this truck.
Not at this time.
Okay. Ms. Mott, do you acknowledge, are you admitting that you hit their truck?
Not intentionally. And if this is if there's video of it, then
I don't want to talk about video. Don't care about
Okay.
that. Did you at any time, intentionally, negligently?
not
And-
intentionally, I was backing
I
up.
don't care. Stop. Listen to
Sorry.
my question. Did you at any time, either intentionally, negligently, recklessly, in any way, shape, or form, damage their truck?
No,
So at no time, through any actions of yours, at no time did you damage their truck? It's easy, yes or no?
can I explain?
No, yes or
Sorry.
no?
No,
So you've never at any time did any type of conduct in any way, shape, or form that would have done any damage, a scrape, any type of damage to their truck? Yes or no?
see, sorry, it's hard for me to answer.
It is not. It's a yes or no.
Well, I'm not trying to lie, but
It sounds like you are.
no, because their son backed up. I was backing up and he cut me off. And so that's
Don't
when
care
I
about
bumped it. So
explanation.
that's why it's,
Don't care about explanation.
so then I guess, yes, I guess I'm not really sure because it wasn't intentional and that wasn't ever my main
Miss
focus,
Mott, zip it. Stop talking.
Okay.
Stop trying to outthink me because it's not going to happen.
I'm not, Your Honor,
then
I'm
stop
sorry.
talking. Okay, stop talking. My question is, I will repeat it one more time. At any time, did you intentionally, negligently, recklessly, or in any to their truck?
I guess, yes.
Not a guess.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you have pictures of this damage?
That's why I couldn't get them out of my phone.
You have had multiple months, 6 months.
I work 80 hours a week to pay for all this stuff. So it's pretty hard for me to get off and just print everything off. I did the best I could.
And I understand that. I do. I understand that this is very stressful and this is causing a lot of emotion. I am going to tell you again right now, your beef is with Jordan.
A lot of it is, Your Honor. I agree.
And if haven't seen the quitclaim deed, and I know parents don't like to have contention with, they're probably difficult for you, and I don't know the deal or the agreement that you reach with Jordan. But if you have a quitclaim deed that says you own the property, you own the property. And from what I heard at the original hearing back in December, that I recall, and what I am hearing now, Jordan is a big part of all of these issues. You have the right to evict Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you own the property. And it sounds like he's not living up to your expectations. I don't know, because you would still have to go through the process. You'd still have to do that. I'd still have to hear information. We'd still have to determine whether or not this is proper and he can be evicted, and if you do all the process. Okay?
We understand that, Your Honor.
But it doesn't sound like, I don't know.
No, he's our son, so he pays us when he can.
Okay, so then that's not even a lease.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's the whole ejectment part versus an eviction.
Well, the ejectment doesn't work anyway, Your Honor. When you ejected her, it took 6 weeks longer for her to leave, and the police would not do anything.
Well, it shouldn't. You had a writ of assistance.
No,
Posted
I
right
had
on the
to
door.
get a writ of assistance. I had to pay for that extra.
Yeah.
I had to go and have it filed.
Again, and so you understand, and I don't know if you do landlord stuff
No.
We don't.
often, and now you understand it
It's not a landlord. It's
not anymore, but it's your property. And so now you understand you can't just let people live there and willy-nilly and do what they want and walk all over you. You can't do that because in the end, you're the ones who are going to be suffering. The law, especially with landlord tenant, especially with anything with real estate like this, it protects both sides, as you can see, because people live and they need to live and have homes, but we need to make sure that the landlords aren't being completely taken advantage of and that they're going to get money. So this type of law is very strict. And I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to say, nope, you're not entitled to that. Do I think that this is a fair situation? I do not. Do I think that Ms. Mott I did not find her credible, not one bit, when I tried to ask that question. If I had to ask it 5 or 6 times like I did, Ms. Mott, I don't find you credible.
Sorry.
I believe you damaged the vehicle. And honestly, I believe you did it intentionally.
I didn't.
And you don't have to talk and speak. What I'm hearing is that you have whatever relationship you have with their son, but they don't want you at the property. But right now, because you don't have a lease, you don't have authority to say you do. You can say she can't be there. But right now, it's just as a father, mother to a son. And it doesn't sound son's listening to you. Doesn't sound like he cares what you think.
He is now.
There's a little bit of that too, Your Honor, yeah. There's some coercion on the other side of that too, that person knows that they can get away with that.
That's a girlfriend-boyfriend type of relationship. I don't know what it is because I don't want to get into that too much because especially if there's open criminal cases. I don't want to find out anything about that. But I believe she damaged her truck. I truly do believe that. That's a different case. That's not even this case.
Right.
You can forget about that because that's not a landlord tenant issue. That's not an ejectment issue. That's a different small claims issue where you can gather all your other information and you can file a different action because I'm not even going to hear about that anymore. Okay. Can happen later when you have pictures, you have an estimate, you do stuff. But right now, that's not a real property issue. Let's talk about the real property. Let's talk about the house and the damage and what you can prove and show is or is not her responsibility. Okay?
Yep.
So we have doors. She admitted to, I believe, 1 door and 1 window.
Mysteriously, all got broke at the same time, so maybe the door just was defective with the pry bar.
But are we talking about the window that she said that it was broken and replaced when Jordan owned it?
No.
There's no window that's ever been thought that I know of thought to be replaced. And again, Your Honor, it'll show you in the pictures. You can see a crowbar, pry bar, something pried. It's not like it just broke. And again, I'm not trying to be hard on you. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just it's because I'm going to need to know, and I can see that, but dates of when it happened and how you have proof that it was Ms. Mott and not somebody else.
Without being there, Your Honor, I have no proof of that.
And
it was the date that the altercation with her and my son happened. And that was the pretty much the premise of the whole discussion was after a night out, they both were out. I don't know who was doing what, and that's not here to be discussed. I guess that's between them.
But an altercation occurred, damage to certain property occurred, such as 3 doors and a window.
Correct.
And then the side issue of the vehicle.
Correct.
And so, and what I'm hearing is that a pry bar or crowbar, something was used to break down or put holes in the door, was tried to pry open the window. I believe, and I can look at the photograph and the evidence that you have. I believe you when you say that occurred.
The police report?
Ms. Mott.
Or the police report, yeah.
You can't have the police report. You need a police officer to testify.
All right.
Your Honor, if I could, that incident that they're speaking of happened on February 13th of 2022. but no damages to the house were acquired that evening, but that's hearsay. So,
Well, no, that's not hearsay. That's your statement.
yeah, no damages were done to the house that evening. All of the damages that they're trying to say that occurred since they had the house signed to them is not true. Any damages that were done to the house were done years prior. And Jordan could testify for it too.
Well, neither one of you have Jordan here to
I know, and I wanted to, but I didn't, obviously.
Both of you could have forced to testify, but again, that puts in a whole other layer of this onion, this rotten, decaying onion. Either Mr. or Ms. Haskins, how do you know that, what date do you believe that this damage occurred?
I don't remember the date off the top of my head, but I've spoken with Miss Mott, and at one point in time, like I said, she apologized to me about this, that it was done. So that's how I know, by hearsay from her.
And that's
that it
not
was done.
hearsay. That's a statement of a
Statement, correct.
party interest. So she any statement that she has said to you,
Yes.
that's not hearsay. I can hear that. But as she just said, she's like, these damages did occur. I admit that they didn't occur at the time that they think it did. And they didn't even own the property at this time, is what she's saying.
And that
So-
I'm not sure of, Your Honor.
And that's why I need to turn to you and say, because if you aren't sure, or if you have proof, that's where you need to provide that.
It would be in a police report because we did call it in.
Yeah.
If you would like to look at the police report and refresh your recollection.
Well, either way, we're not going to be able to prove it, Your Honor, based on what we're hearing here. I guess from here forward, I guess the only thing I would like to I've learned a lot here, and I've basically learned a lot about what I should and shouldn't do, and how people that take advantage of the system can do whatever they want. Please put that on
Broadcast. It's not that they can do whatever they want.
They can, Your Honor. After being told several times not to be at that house, deliberately goes against it on purpose.
But Mr. Haskins, so you can understand.
Currently, yesterday, 2 days ago.
There's nothing,
I own the house now.
there's not a restraining order. There's nothing that says she cannot.
And there will be, Your Honor. I
I
understand.
understand you got the writ of assistance to get her out, to not live there anymore.
Yeah.
But that doesn't say she can't go visit. You have
I
somebody living there that you permit to live there, and they say, come over as my guest.
so the person that's living there that's being coerced into all this could go to jail over this.
Well, here's the thing. You say he's being coerced. You don't know that.
I know.
I'm guessing he's an adult. Sometimes they're not good decisions.
No, I understand that, Your Honor.
Do I think that this is a terrible situation? I do. Do I think that you've damaged property? I do. As to the home and the damage of the doors and the window and the basement and that stuff, I'm not hearing that there's enough to connect it to Ms. Mott and Ms. Mott alone right now.
Now that she's not going to admit to it,
As to the vehicle, that's a separate issue. I'm not even dealing with that today. You want to deal with that? You want to go get an estimate? You want to figure that out? That's a different day, a different filing, other things, which she's made statements on the record, which can be used against her at any other hearing.
But if you don't have insurance and you don't have money, then guess what? We sit with nothing.
don't.
Ms. Haskins, I understand you may not have insurance to fix it. That's not what the law says. The law doesn't say, well, I don't know if you do or if she does, but
It doesn't.
that's not, well, and
Small claims court, you're going to win the battle, but you're not going to see $1 of it.
I
Been there.
live, I'm in this every day.
I know, and you see it a lot, Your Honor, and I just am tired of these people that just don't have any accountability, and there's not a damn thing we can do about it.
I would strongly recommend that whatever you're going to do with this property, that if you are going to be landlords,
It's going to get sold. It's going to get listed next week. Not even a doubt in my mind. And then we'll deal with our son as far as all that goes. And I guess 4 years ago, he didn't realize that this was going to ruin his life. So we'll address that with him, though, Your Honor.
Ms. Mott, if you have any type of a conscience at all,
Shit,
Your Honor, I've apologized. Like
that's hilarious.
I can't take the full credit for everything that's happened.
No, never.
I'm not saying that you take full credit.
No, and I've tried the past year. They haven't civilly talked to me. The times that they've showed up at the house, they've gotten in my face. They just put cameras in the house when I was still living there before they
Ms.
evicted me.
Mott, I don't need to know about cameras or any cameras or whatever, but here's the thing. The tears can stop. Here's the thing. They don't like you.
I know this.
They don't have to be cordial with you.
I know.
They don't have to sit down and try and have a nice family dinner with you.
I know.
They're not they are people who have, for whatever reason, they took possession of this home, probably to save and help their son. But they are now stuck with debt, and they're stuck with damages that it's not their fault. They've done nothing wrong here except for perhaps enable your son a little bit.
Correct.
Ms. Mott.
Yes.
Whatever. Jordan has his own issues to deal with his parents. It's between him, his parents, and God. You are not Jordan. You are a totally different person, and you have the ability, even if I don't have the legal authority to order anything, in this case for doors and a window and basement. If you want to mend fences,
Your Honor, I've offered. I've offered to help fix things. I've asked for a dollar amount. I've given a couple hundred.
You don't stop talking. You don't have to offer anything. You want to know what? They have damages. You've been to the house. You know the condition of the house.
Yes.
You can go here. Let's look. Look. Oh, you guys live in Hudson. You can go, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Haskins, who lives in Hudson, and I know their address because I'm pretty sure you do. Here's a check or a money order, $100. A month later, when you have a little bit more money, here's a little check and money order for $100, $50, $25. So far, you've done nothing to try and mend the fences, and don't speak. Nothing. And you see these people over here who have been trying and who for, again, whatever reason, took over this house for their son, for whatever reason. And they're stuck with the bill, because they will, with Jordan too. They're going to be stuck with the bill. I don't know for sure. I'm just telling you that's what my gut's saying. So they're the ones who are going to be stuck with the bill. Do you think that's right, Ms. Mott?
No.
So what do you think you could do about it?
Offer to help. That's.
I'm not. They don't care about your work. They don't care about your trying to fix a door or clean a basement. But it's not offering to help. It's sending them money, taking care of it, not having communication, not saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Haskins, now how much money do you think? Or they don't want to talk to you. Okay. They don't want to talk to you. But what you can do, if you care or for any bit at all for Jordan, because it sounds like you're in a long-term relationship, if you want to, because right now you're a wedge between him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible burden to bear.
Trust me, I know.
So perhaps you need to rethink things, rethink your ethics, rethink your morals, and perhaps you need to do things without getting them involved personally. You make an extra $50, you don't need to get your hair cut. You don't need to buy those jeans. Send them $50. And you know what? Over a period of time, maybe that anger, that frustration, that disappointment in not only you and Jordan, and you have caused somebody to lose faith in the justice system. And that's not right. That is terrible, because that is what our country is founded upon. Justice. I have to follow the law. I have to be, and it's unfortunate, but I can't order something where there's not evidence to prove. So, I hope you can get it for sale, and I hope it sells.
Oh, I will.
Matter is dismissed. We are adjourned. Well, it's not dismissed. It's denied for any costs.